transitioning from that to the highest paid players. I don't have any problem with this. I'm not going to belabor this issue. I'm going to tell you that LeBron James and Steph Curry will combine for more than $225 million in earnings during this upcoming 2023-2024 season. I'm going to tell you they deserve every penny. These brothers are inspiration. See, as a commentator and a pundit, I have to be critical when it's necessary. But it does not mean that I don't respect and revere both of these brothers. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter God ever created. He's also one of the greatest people you'll ever find. He's good people. He truly is. He's an incredible role model of the highest order. He don't get involved in anything. Ladies and gentlemen, man, every year, Draymond Green takes his teammates to Vegas for a trip. It is universally understood the one person who ain't going is Steph Curry. Steph Curry don't play that. He ain't drinking, he ain't smoking, he ain't partying, he ain't doing none of that. That's not who he is. It's not to say that those who do it are somehow, blasphemous or anything like that, or heathenish. No, it's just not how he rolls. But when you think about a dude who's just unblemished as a role model, whose heart is consistently in the right place, who does the right things, who has a family, who commits himself to the right causes and the right things. Love what he's doing for the golf team at Howard. Love how he brings attention to that and what he does to contribute to HBCUs. He went to Davidson. Ain't no damn HBCU. He was born into affluence because his daddy, Del Curry, one of the great shooters we've ever seen in NBA history, was obviously well off being an NBA player and making the salary that he was making. And when you look at Del Curry, and when you look at the Curry family, it's not hard to surmise how Steph Curry and Seth Curry, who can play, by the way, were raised. They weren't raised poor. He didn't have to have his eyes on something like the HBCUs, but he does. And what do you expect me to say about LeBron James? I mean, can we talk basketball without y'all being sensitive? I might have a problem with his shot selection. I might have a problem with his hesitancy to go to the free throw line in the past. I might have a problem with the fact that he lost 6 NBA finals, and that's on his docket, his resume, even though he's won 4 championships and has 4 league MVP honors. Ladies and gentlemen, I got him as top 2 player in the history of basketball. And I got to tell you something right now. He's unrivaled as a role model. I mean, he plays second fiddle, rather, as a role model to no one. LeBron James came into the league at age 17. At age 17, rather, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, labeled the chosen one. He's eclipsed expectations. We expected him to be great. We didn't know it was going to be this. The brother been to 10 NBA finals. The brother's a 4-time champion. I don't hold the Spurs finals loss against them in the first go round in 2007. I don't hold the last Spurs loss in the NBA finals against them in 2013 or so, 2014 rather, when D Wade was hurt. I damn sure don't hold the finals losses against them to the 2 that they lost to Kevin Durant once he joined the Splash Brothers in Golden State. I do hold the Dallas finals loss against them. I do hold that against them, without question. That's the one I do hold against him. And he lucked up when Greg Popovich foolishly took Tim Duncan out of the lineup, and Chris Bosh got the rebound off the LeBron James miss in that game 6 and dished the ball to Ray Allen, who drilled a 3, sent the game in overtime, and ultimately they won the game and pushed it to game 7, which they won. But the bottom line is they won. There's one finals loss I hold against LeBron James, and that's Dallas. That's Dallas. And that's it. Outside of that, when we talk about these guys getting paid, let's take a moment to remind folks why they get paid. And I'll take a moment to step back and to give love, not to myself. I want to give love to my entire team. Greg, Michael, of course, my girl, Sherry McCovey. We're going to say her first and last. Now, everybody need to know who she is. You understand? My team, Sharonda and Arnell. Okay? My man, Tom Izzo, H to the Izzo. Tom Izzo from Michigan State ain't the only Izzo in the house. My team, my man Rashawn McDonald, the man is still with me. He's crazy. You know, Steve, hold on, Steve, hold on, Steve. You know how he is. Okay, still my dog, still my man. Sumatra and Juvie, everybody. I got a crew. I'm very happy to have my crew. Because you see, when you're a leader, you have to think about the people who allow you to lead them. You have to take their interests into consideration. Because the more successful you are, the more successful one would surmise they will be. And so when I see LeBron James and he's set to make $128 million as the highest paid player in the league with an estimated $80 million in endorsements on top of his $47.6 million salary, and he's endorsing AT&T and Crypto.com and GMC and PepsiCo. When I look at Steph Curry, who will earn an estimated $101.9 million off of $50 million in endorsement. Curry pitches for Chase, Nissan, Sony, JP Morgan, and Rakuten and Subway. You don't get deals like that when you act like an ass. When you put yourself in precarious situations and your brand and who you are and your persona is tainted. And when you do stuff like that, you don't take into consideration the collateral damage it causes. Because if you're not making the kind of money you hope to earn, chances are you're not going to spread the wealth because you don't have it to spread. And as a result, you're going to keep your money tight and close to the vest. And by doing so you're not able to take care of anybody but yourself and your inner sanctum, if that. And when you know how to conduct yourself, you generate revenue. When you generate revenue, you position yourself for more other opportunities. When you flourish, your team flourishes, especially if you're any kind of decent person who is a giver, which I am. And so those are the kind of things that I'm talking about. I see Steph Curry and LeBron James, and then I think about the stuff that they get themselves into. And you know what I discover? Nothing. They don't get themselves into stuff. They don't. So I guess that would mean when I go at Marcellus Wiley, I might not need to do that. When I go at a Dan Levitard, I might not need to do that. When some other colleague get on my nerves, I might not need to go too far. I might not need to respond to the Kwame Browns of the world and stuff like that. I might not need to respond to every little thing. Now, that person I call the fat bastard is the exception. That I'm not backing up from. That fat bastard, I'm just waiting for the moment where he gets my mind in the right place where I want to go nuclear on him. And at that particular moment in time, endorsement companies and potential endorsement deals and advertisers and sponsors and employers like ESPN or anybody that I'm doing business with down the pike, I would ask them to step aside and grant me this one Milligan where I unleash on his sorry, no good ass. That is the only time that I will ask for that. Any other time, I will do my best to control myself and to reel myself in. Because the bottom line is, when you're doing business, it ain't good business to make bad business. On behalf of myself and my team, it's just not the wise thing to do. Let me throw this list out at you before I move on to people who've done unwise things. Biggest deal for both is their shoe contracts. LeBron James signed a lifetime deal with Nike in 2019 that pays him more than $30 million annually. Curry signed with Under Armour in 2013, and the deal worth about $4 million per year at that time. But his current contract with Under Armour is worth $215 million and includes an equity stake in the company. Others on the list are Giannis Antetokounmpo at $90.6 million, Kevin Durant at $88.4 million, Klay Thompson at $64.2 million as the top 5 highest earners in the league, followed by Damian Lillard at $62.6, Joel Embiid at $56.6, and James Harden at $55.6, who, by the way, skipped practice again, was AWOL again. Okay, somebody gonna have to deal with that at another time. You're gonna have to get that together, no doubt about that. Speaking of people, like I said, who've done unwise things, we also have to bring up Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver for the Denver Broncos. By the way, before I even get into that, I saved the best for last. My social media dude, Bailey Carlin. Now, I cannot explain how he looks. I really can't. The look is just wild. I can't explain the girl he's got. I mean, his brother getting married. I mean, you talk about a brother that's overachieving. I'm like, shit. I looked at her like I was getting whiplash. I couldn't take my eyes off Bailey. I was looking at her and I couldn't take my eyes off Bailey because I'm like, how the hell you get that? I mean, Bailey the dude. But I love him. He does a fantastic job. He does a fantastic job for me. Got to give him love, no doubt about it. Sorry it took me long to remember you, brother, but I got distracted by LeBron and Steph's money. That's something I want. Okay, red wine to you. I ain't drinking that right now, but you know I toast it. And the mustache and the look, you'll see, if you ever see him, you'll understand exactly what I mean by when I say I don't want to explain the look. I just don't want to tell you what he looks like, okay? Trust me on this. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is, at the end of the day, the top 15 earners in the NBA are set to make a combined $1 billion in 2023-2024, according to Badenheiser reported. That's the bottom line. And so when you see this economic empowerment that these players have, it is something to behold, but it's well earned. Damian Lillard, class act, character dude, doesn't get in any kind of trouble. What trouble does Giannis Antetokounmpo get in? Huh? What trouble does he get in? Look at the guys on this list. Look at them. Kevin Durant. What trouble? What's his definition of trouble? That he claps back at critics? So what? He's a high character dude. What about Klay Thompson? Shoot, he out there fishing when he ain't playing ball. He's living his best life. James Harden, say what you will about him. He ain't getting in trouble with the law. He might have some proclivities you may question, but it ain't lawless. He just needs to stop quitting on teams that have him under contract. He's not a bad person, not a bad dude. He just gets in his emotions and overreacts from time to time. What matters he should handle privately. That's it. NBA is filled with great dudes. And I'm going to give him a lot of love.